Hello, everybody. Hope the weekend is going well. Options expiration Friday kind of ended without a bang. The Dow Jones Industrial Average pulled back 0.13%. Volume was higher, but more importantly, nice intraday reversal, and that continues the trend that we've actually seen since the January lows. If you notice in the January lows, besides intraday reversals off the lows, we've only had, a couple of bad sessions, but they've held support. And overall, every other session on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, there's either tails or nice big open body bars. There's only, a few sessions, but like I said, this one, and this session here, it didn't lead to any further confirmation, and then that followed with the February retest, more open bodies, good intraday reversal on Friday. Definitely room for this rally to continue, but however, the volume continues to be way off, so to get bullish here is just not intelligent. I wouldn't do it. You can go with the trend, great, but to turn outright bullish on this entire market and hands down say that we're hitting new highs, I doubt it. If anything, the volume tells me that we're probably range bound for a while. February lows, possibly the gap down here to start off the year. These lows right here, November, December for the S&P 500. I just don't see, with the kind of volume conditions out there on these up days or even on the down days following the initial sell-off, where I can see a definite trend coming, anytime soon. It's just probably going to be a lot of chop. The good news is that the NASDAQ, kind of led the way higher, up 0.38%. The NASDAQ 100 up 0.3%. More importantly, the Russell 2000 was up 0.53%. Excellent positive divergence. And once again, this one hit new February lows and has rallied since with some very nice open body days. And then on Friday, as you can see here, it had a nice intraday tail and came close to closing at the high of the day. So overall, pretty good session for the Russell 2000, but still, the important test is right here, those recent highs, which right now coincides with the 50-day moving average. And then after that, it's got to try to get through these August, October, November, December lows that are now going to act as resistance. So this will be interesting without a doubt. Not much was of interest to me today at all in my scans going through everything. There's a couple of utility longs as the utility sector continues to look the best out of all the sectors. And once again, having utilities be leaders during this uptrend doesn't give a great vote of confidence that this is going to, oh yeah, it's sustainable. We're going to have to see some rotation in more tech names. And I tell you what, we've got a few that we're watching. Now let me go ahead and tighten up my charts for my personal self, because it's the way I like to look at them. But Cray continues to show up in my perfect speculator scans. It actually pulled back on Friday. Yippee! But I need more. I need more of a flatter base. I need that 50-day moving average to catch up. And at minimum, I need the 20-day moving average to be touching price before I take any kind of signal in this tape. So it's going to be at least 3-4 sessions before the 20-day moving average catches up to price. And I would really like to see Cray not break out to a new high and do something normal, and or have a big dip right here to the 50-day moving average. I'll look to get it off the 50-day moving average following that very powerful move into new highs as I enter my perfect speculator scans. Also, XRS, the damn thing just won't stop inching up. However, volume was much lower on Friday, and BOP has been dropping steadily the past 2 sessions. Hopefully that means that it will pull back. Once again, I need to have it be touching the 20-day moving average before I take a long position. Anything else would be chasing. I mean, if you bought this breakout up here, you didn't know good. And if you chased it up here after a few up days, that didn't turn out well. And so I doubt chasing it here would be either. But XRS and Cray, they're both perfect speculator scan names. They're both on the top of my radar list along with USCR. But USCR needs a lot of work. It's the only other name this evening that's in my perfect speculator scan that I'm watching. So USCR, Cray, and XRS are the top 3. The best stock that I highlighted on a Friday move was SQ&S. In the morning, it announced that it had won a contract with Tesla. Unfortunately, the thing doesn't trade that much and actually has been really thin lately, which is actually good as it bases out here and gives a really nice base pattern. On an end-of-day basis, in 2003, 2004, 1996, 7, 98, 99, I'm going long this signal because the signal probably comes with a bigger increase in green BOP, probably more near the 75 to 100 level, and volume would be good enough on this move following the low volume here. But in this tape, no way. Up 13% in one day. That's a very outside average true range move recently. I'm not chasing it, but SQNS was the most interesting on an end-of-day basis. And in the morning spikers, nothing really that great. FSAM was the best, but by the time it broke out to morning highs, it was like around 386, and it ran up to 460, and there's no way I would have held it that long, so I'm kind of glad I didn't play it. But that was really the only earnings winner that actually worked. Everything else did not work. Groupon continues to be a late earnings winner mover, so just keep on watching that one. But I really don't like that company. But if Alibaba's going to buy it, Baba looks good, so you can consider that. I mean, it's holding those October lows. Also, Baidu looks the same. A lot of Chinese names actually look pretty decent here as we pull back, so we'll see if that continues. And the best short candidate was TRXC. I've been watching it as a potential short with this current move right here in the bag 210. I've been watching it on the short side. Today it broke down early, but it wasn't proper, and it didn't. And whenever it started to break down, it broke down too much and didn't rally back to a good enough resistance. So I didn't get my short off at TRXC. But on an end-of-day basis, I might be considering this as a short sale. However, I don't like fighting the overall trend of the market. So if I would go short, my final sell stop would be 424, and I would keep this an extremely small position in my account. I'm just not sure yet, but I might as well post it because, it's very probable. Now, I do have two new long signals, but neither one are great. They're both very speculative. AGR is the best one right here. AGR is a recent IPO, pocket pivot point signal, some excellent trading its entire life. After its second day of trading, it's just been perfect since that washout sell-off day back here in December 18th. Looks to be a pocket pivot point signal ahead of earnings. So here's the thing. Earnings are Monday morning, making it risky. If it gaps below 40.72 in the morning, the trade is off. If it is anywhere over 40.72, indicating at the opening bell, the trade is on. Final sell stop 40.72, and then you can even use this low a day as your ultimate final sell stop 40.20. So we don't risk much if we're wrong on the trade. Let's say all hell breaks loose and it's terrible, 5% risk the most. But because it's speculative, because it's earnings, it's not a canceling quality. It was only in my IPO scan. Only 0.5% of my account capital. Guys, I want there to be a 10%, 20% signal. I know what they look like. They're not out there. It's not the right market environment. So you either pussyfoot with this or you don't take it. If you have a low account value, pay too much commissions, only like to take very large positions, this is a no-go. And then also EBR, in a totally different manner, is a new long, also a utility stock. It's a hot group, XLU, utilities. This one is more of a bottoming play as EWZ, Brazil, looks to be trying to hammer out a bottom here. A newer low, very constructive action, and now a pocket pivot point signal in this ETF. Doesn't mean shit, but still, it kind of confirms the move in EBR. If the country of Brazil wants to move higher, EBR is going to probably move higher, especially with it being a utility stock. So the first sell stop is with the move below 143. My final sell stop is with the move below 137. 0.5% of my account capital because this is only a price volume BOP stock. None of these, AGR or EBR, are anything special. I wouldn't even consider something special that would get 5-10%. 10% in a strong market, 5% in the current tape. If I could limit my risk to less than $1,000 on my account, would be Cray and XRS, and then maybe USCR. But besides those three, not very interested in anything else out there. All right, everybody, I'll see you in the chat room on Monday.